The word beam is what I call an English original. That is, it has its origins in Old English rather than Latin or Greek or French. But it meant something a little bit different. In Old English, a beam or Baum was a tree. The German word for tree is Baum, and it's related, of course. But how did it go from that to meaning, say, a laser beam? Well, there's a passage in the Bible that talks about a pillar of fire. And when the Venerable Bede was translating the Latin Bible into English, he found it difficult to make the translation exact. The Latin was a columna ignis, a column of fire. But the word column didn't exist in English at that time, came from Latin much later, and so he chose to use the word beam because it looked a little bit like a tree of fire. So a beam then came to mean a straight shooting of light, and ultimately that came to be our modern meaning of beam. But there's a little addendum to this story. Baum is the word in German. In Dutch, it's very similar. Boom or boom for the Dutch. Anyone who's been sailing might have had the experience of being hit on the head by this thing, a boom. And it's called the boom, although of course boom in Dutch, because again, it's a little bit like a tree, although a horizontal tree rather than a vertical one. A lot of English terms to do with sailing come from Dutch, and we'll be looking at some of them in later videos.